Today we're looking at Americans and what they think about Europe. You know, Americans are known to be intelligent. They are known to know everything about everything. If you ask them a question, they will have an answer. 90% of the time it might be wrong, but it doesn't matter. They will have one for you.
Things to say. God bless our troops.
Okay, man, we're starting off this video with that. Functioning toilets? What Europe were you at? I'm sure every country in Europe has functioning toilets. Are you sure you went to Europe? Honestly, I don't trust your geography. I mean, you might have actually not gone to Europe at all.
God bless America.
Ice! We have ice everywhere! I'm sure every country has some sort of supply of ice. I know ice in America stands for something else, but like, come on. I know you guys probably think Europe is a third world country, but it's actually a continent with first world countries in it. So that would explain why you don't think we have ice and functioning toilets.
And gentlemen!
We don't have fruit in Europe now. We have fruit. We have water. We have toilets. Where did you visit?
Start!
Oh my god, we literally have all these things. I understand if you went to a cold country, it wouldn't have aircon because why would you need it? But a lot of people in hot countries have AC. You just have to be able to afford it. And I'm sure most hotels have AC, so also don't know where you stayed. Oh, see, yeah, we don't have as wide streets as you in Europe because we actually have history. Yeah, most of our cities are actually older than your country. Things were built around before cars were invented. People didn't use cars back in the day. So streets and cities were built different. And we didn't have insanely huge streets for SUVs.
May I have a spicy milk?
Sure. How thoughtful.
Full. And I'll have a chai latte with oat milk.
Sounds great. Do you want that small or large?
Small.
And for here to go.
For here. She asked me if I was British, and I said yes.
No, she did not ask you if you were British. She probably asked you, are you ready? Why would you pretend to be British? Oh, could I have a spicy milk? What the f is a spicy milk?
Here are things in a British grocery store that would send Americans into a coma. Their eggs are never refrigerated. They're always in these containers or on shelves. Also, look at how cheap those eggs are. You just cannot get that in America.
I actually looked up why you have to have your eggs refrigerated in the USA, and it turns out they pump loads of chemicals onto the eggs, so they have to stay in the fridge to last. Why do you need to do that to your eggs? Do you eat anything that doesn't contain chemicals? Is natural food allowed in the US? Probably not.
The tea aisle is absolutely insane to me. It is an entire aisle just dedicated to different types of teas. I didn't even know this much tea existed in the world.
That's not even enough tea for the average British family in a year.
Also, British people love their instant coffee. I've never had an instant coffee until I moved here, and I must say it's not that good.
I mean, I'll agree with you. I don't love instant coffee. But coming from an American, that's funny. You guys literally drink a jug of coffee that sits on heat for a whole day. Mostly water, a tiny bit of coffee in there. And that's what you guys call coffee, with about 10 spoons of sugar added. You guys probably don't know what the taste of coffee actually is.
People love to make anything into a pie. We've got steak pies, we've got chicken pies, we've got cheesy veg pies. Don't get me wrong, I love a good pie, but not everything needs to be inside of a pie.
I guess you can fill holes with a lot of filling. That didn't come out right, did it?
This is where things get scary, but black pudding is a staple in most people's households. What it is pig's blood, and people eat it for breakfast.
Yeah, I don't think most people are eating that. Probably 1% of the country actually enjoy eating that. And definitely is not a staple in most households. Are we just having that with our cereal now, are we? Why do people in America think people in England eat like 18th century peasants?
In America, when you were picking out your fruit and vegetables, they have plastic bags for you to put them in. Here in England, you either have to pay for a bag or you just raw dog your fruit and veg in the cart.
Well, that's because you Americans need every bit of plastic you can get on everything for no reason. You need to wash the vegetables and stuff when you get home anyway. And also, we literally have bags to put them in, so I don't know what you're on about. Is it because they're not pre-packaged for you? Are you too lazy to do that yourself?
Something I will never get on board with, but British people love their baked beans. There are so many different kinds and aisles of baked beans at the grocery store. People will eat them for breakfast, they'll eat them for lunch, they'll eat them for dinner. There's a million different brands of them.
When I first moved to England, I also thought baked beans were a bit weird, but now I like them. They're not very good for you though, so I wouldn't eat them all the time. But those are a staple in most people's houses, not the black pudding you were on about earlier. Look, here's an example of a video of what it looks like when you go shopping in America for any fruit or veg. 10 million rows of plastic containers. Why do you need pre-peeled oranges? Very few people can't peel it themselves. But realistically, is that the reason, or people just too lazy to peel their own fruit? I wonder if there's a supermarket in America that just feeds people peeled fruit and veg. Like, so you don't have to do it yourself. They just start feeding you a banana, just jam it in your mouth. People in Europe drink water. I'm really lost, man. I'm really confused. They're clearly in Portugal because I'm Portuguese and I know that water company. And people in Portugal drink water, so I don't know what this means. Are Americans just scared to drink tap water in Europe? I'm confused. People do drink bottles of water. Is it because you miss the microplastics? Like, so you just want to drink from plastic bottles? Maybe that's what it is. They're just addicted to the microplastics. Yeah, now I sympathize with you guys. Now I understand. And research has found that microplastics do go into your brain. It would make sense why all of these videos are so stupid. Oh my, I already know this is gonna have some awful takes. We have ice. You can literally buy one of those fridges if you want. Surprisingly enough, we actually have frozen food in Europe. We have freezers. Realistically, you're probably gonna stay at a hotel. You probably have AC unless you don't pay for it in the hotel room or something. Like, what's going on? Like, yes, this one time I went to Greece. And honestly, Greece, you like to scam people out of their money for no reason, okay? You had to pay €5 a day just to have AC in your hotel room. And it was like 40 degrees outside nearly, so I had to pay for AC. I want a refund, Greece. Send that to me right now. I want a refund from your government. You literally just put the AC on. Why are you covering yourself in blankets? If it's too cold, turn it back off. Turns out we literally have carpets in Europe. If you went to any pub in England, you would have 100% seen a sticky carpet. You would have stepped on it and got your foot a bit stuck on it. Clearly, you didn't go to any pubs. What's a normal sized car? Like a big SUV that is obnoxiously wasting loads of petrol and making loads of noise. That's the normal sized cars. In Europe, we don't have towels. We just air dry. We come out the shower and naked, just stand there until we dry. That's exactly what we do, actually. Whoa, you guys can move in the USA? God damn, bro, we're not allowed to move here, actually. We have to stand still. I've actually been moving too much in this video. I'm getting to the legal limit, really. So I have to stand still from now on. Why do you have more ingredients in a cake, donut, or a brownie than you have words in your own constitution? You would be there an hour trying to read what you're about to eat. I saw bleached flour. So the flour looks whiter? Like, are you guys into that thing? Like, you know, it has to be white for it to be nice. I know America is a bit crazy with that stuff.
Part 2 of things in a British grocery store that would send Americans into a coma. Okay, first things first, I need someone to tell me what brown sauce is and why doesn't it have a name? It's so bad that it's just named after the color.
You literally just picked up a bottle that says HP sauce. And also, I don't know what brown sauce is, and I live here.
This is definitely a staple in British households, and you know what? To each their own.
Why does this person keep thinking this is a staple in British households? No, you said this in a previous video. Everything you pick up is just not a staple in British households. Brown sauce is maybe used by about 10% of the country. Maybe. Most people would probably eat ketchup and mayonnaise and all these normal things.
Forget about the World Wide Web and the telephone. The best invention to come out of England are the 360-degree shopping cart wheels. America definitely needs to take notes because we really do need these.
I've actually been to Costco because we have Costco's in the UK. And to push the shopping trolleys, it's so difficult. You're telling me every store in the USA is like that? That's crazy. You guys are really behind on that.
British people absolutely love their peas peas, but why on earth are there so many different types of peas? On what occasion could you possibly need this many different types of peas? And the fact that you go and mush them and say it's edible is a disgrace.
I'd rather have more selection of vegetables and fruit than processed foods. Also, I'm guessing the answer to your question is because there's different types of peas. So people might like a certain type compared to another. I don't know.
This is something that actually repulses me, but why don't pastries have any covering? They are just in direct contact with everyone's germs. For me personally, that is so unsanitary.
I understand to a certain degree, maybe there should be some sort of barrier there, but we don't need plastic for everything, okay? Also, if you didn't know, most of these pastries and breads, at least in the UK and probably in the majority of big supermarkets in Europe, are actually frozen and then just baked in store. So it's not even like you're eating some lovely thing homemade right there. No, it's made in a factory, frozen, packaged, taken there, heated it up, put it on the shelves. I honestly would just recommend you going to your local baker.
What's up with you guys eating prawn mayo sandwiches and prawn cocktail chips? Those two things right there are just not...
Yo, I don't know who is out here eating prawn mayo sandwiches in the UK, but that is definitely not happening. You're a weird person if you're doing that. Prawn cocktail crisps? Yeah, you know what? They're not too bad, and I think a lot of people eat those. Prawn mayo sandwiches. Yeah, your breath is gonna stink at work, mate.
This is the lazy American in me. I'm well aware of that, but I miss people packing my groceries up for me. I leave the grocery store actually sweating because it stresses me out so much.
Are you kidding me? You have people that stand there and put things in bags for you. There is no way, bro. They are lazier than I thought. I mean, it's good if you go to the store and you have some sort of disability. Apart from that, you're just lazy. If you want to be smarter than the average resident of the USA, go follow and watch one of my streams on these platforms. And like and subscribe, or your country will run out of ice and water. Sorry, I was turning into an American eagle.